We often think of Chesterfield County in terms of the neighborhood in which we live. It's surprising for some to learn that we have the 67th largest school division in the country. In fact, if Chesterfield County Public Schools were a business, it would be among the largest in the Richmond metro area. However, we are much more than a Fortune 500 sized business. Building a budget that supports such an organization is a year-round job. Not sure how budget planning for a school system this size works? This video is here to help. The face of Chesterfield County Public Schools has changed dramatically during the past 10 years. As we work to create a better tomorrow, our programs and services have evolved to meet the needs of a diverse community of learners. Every year, Chesterfield County Public Schools receives funding from three main sources: the federal, state, and local governments. Each level has its own requirements and expectations. However, by law, the superintendent is required to build a budget based on needs. Building that budget starts each fall when the superintendent's leadership team works to develop goals, priorities, and compile student and staff needs that must be met. In December, the governor proposes a state budget in advance of the January session of the General Assembly. Based on the governor's proposal and county government guidance, the superintendent proposes a needs-based budget to the school board. After 6 weeks of discussion and community engagement, the school board then approves and submits its budget to the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors ultimately decides how much local funding will be given to the school division, allowing the school board to adopt a final budget in April. However, because our school division does not have taxing authority and is reliant on other elected bodies for funding, that final adopted budget may not meet all of our school division's needs. Serving a diverse community of learners with a variety of academic and social needs requires many resources. This requires a large investment on behalf of our students. Additional funding doesn't necessarily go far, given the many requirements we must meet. Want to see how quickly new funding gets used up? If you had an additional $10 million, a large chunk of money to you and me, what would you do with it? A 1% raise for all staff costs nearly $4.5 million. Want to make class sizes smaller? That'll cost you another $5 million. Want to do both? Well, you can, but you have very little to do anything else to support teaching and learning. With limited funding, Chesterfield County Public Schools competes on a national level to produce a high-quality learning environment. We have award-winning teachers, nationally recognized administrators and support staff, and are in the process of creating 21st century classrooms. How do we stack up to others around us? Well, it depends on the lens you look through. When compared to our peer group, Chesterfield County Public Schools is one of the most efficient school divisions in Virginia in terms of the amount of money it spends per pupil. However, some would ask, is that a badge of honor or an indication of need? While there's no doubt we're a great school system, there are needs that must be addressed beyond what our current budget allows for. We may actually be a victim of our own success. While we don't like to focus on state-mandated tests, the reality is our scores are starting to slip, and our students are coming to us with more learning and behavioral needs than ever before. Our school division also is in a high state of growth. We're expecting nearly 1,200 new students next school year. All of this requires additional resources, and additional resources cost money. Without additional funding, our school division could be forced to make some of the same difficult decisions that we had to make 10 years ago during the recession. That's not what is best for our students. So we're working hard to build a better Team Chesterfield for all, for our 62,000 plus students, for our nearly 8,000 staff members, and for the 345,000 residents who call Chesterfield County home and who benefit from our strong school division daily. We hope that you'll join our efforts to create a better tomorrow, for our students and for our entire community.